Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're venturing into the pretty high-stakes world of cybersecurity.
Yeah, specifically how artificial intelligence is, well, fundamentally changing the game.
Exactly, on both sides, right? The attack and the defense. We're not just scratching the surface here. Our mission really is to pull out the crucial insights for you.
Mm-hmm. How AI is being, weaponized by attackers, but also how it's being used as a shield by defenders.
We want you to get a clear picture of this evolving landscape. Some surprising facts, maybe, but without the information overload.
Think of it like a guided tour. The AI-powered cybersecurity revolution, basically. We'll look at offense automated attacks, better phishing, and then the defense side.
Okay, let's dive straight into the offensive then. It sounds like AI is giving attackers a completely new set of tools, yeah. Where's the biggest impact?
Well, one huge area really transformative is automated exploit generation. For years, finding and building exploits for software flaws, that was slow, hard work.
Needed real specialists.
Right.
Highly skilled people.
Exactly. But now AI is speeding this whole process up. It can analyze these massive databases of known vulnerabilities like the CVE list.
And it just writes the attack code.
It can generate exploit code, yeah. Maybe not super complex stuff all the time yet, but it's getting there. And it accelerates things massively.
So the bottleneck, the human expertise needed to create exploits, that's potentially disappearing, or at least shrinking.
Precisely. That could drastically increase the speed and just the sheer volume of attacks. Remember Deep Exploit, an early AI model from MIT back in 2019.
Vaguely, yeah. It automated some pen testing tasks, didn't it?
That's the one, an early example. Now we're seeing more advanced AI, even like large language models, the LLMs everyone talks about.
You can write code, so they can write exploits.
Simpler ones, yes. It
Wow.
definitely lowers the barrier to entry for less skilled attackers. And look, there are resources out there now, like the A-Exploits GitHub
They
repository.
do really? What's in that?
Protect AI maintains it. It catalogs real-world AI and machine learning exploits, even packaged as like Metasploit modules and nuclei templates.
Wow. So it's not just academic papers anymore. These are actual tools.
Exactly. Ready to be plugged into existing attack frameworks. It's practical. It's happening now.
That's the sobering thought. Faster exploit creation, more accessible too.
Yeah.
Okay, what else? Phishing must be getting much scarier with AI.
Oh, absolutely. It's a total game changer for phishing campaigns.
Mhm.
AI can analyze just huge amounts of legitimate emails, text communications.
Learn how people normally talk.
Yeah, it learns the language, the tone, even specific writing styles of, say, your company or your boss. Then it generates phishing emails that look incredibly convincing.
Oof. So those little red flags, we're all trained to look for bad grammar, weird phrasing, they might just vanish.
It could become obsolete, yeah,
Okay.
making it super hard to tell real from fake for people and for security systems.
And it's not just text, right? You hear about deep fakes.
Exactly. That's the multimodal aspect. AI can create realistic fake images, videos, even voices. Tools like HeyGen, they make this tech more accessible.
So you could get a voicemail.
Yeah.
That sounds exactly like your CEO.
Asking for an urgent payment, yeah. How do you even verify that quickly? It's a whole new level of social engineering powered by AI.
Okay, that's genuinely pretty scary.
Mhm.
Moving beyond tricking humans, what about the more technical stuff, like password cracking?
Yeah, AI is impacting that too. Algorithms can analyze massive leaked password databases.
To see how we create passwords, the patterns.
Exactly. Common patterns, variations, how people try to be clever but aren't really. This lets AI-powered cracking tools make much smarter, more efficient guesses, way beyond old brute force attacks.
So instead of just trying AAB, it's making like educated guesses based on learned human behavior.
Correct, which is much faster. But there's a flip side here too, for defense. Well, knowing how AI can crack passwords helps us build better defenses, stronger password policies, using AI ourselves to simulate these advanced attacks and test our own security.
Using the attacker's tools against them, sort of?
Kind of. The future might be passwords that aren't just complex, but complex in ways that specifically fool AI analysis, unpredictable.
Right. It really feels like this constant push and pull. Attackers get a new tool, defenders adapt. What about malware? That's always a huge threat.
AI is definitely changing the malware landscape, both how it's made and how we analyze it.
How does it help analyze it?
Well, you can train AI on massive data sets of known malware. It learns to spot really subtle patterns, malicious behaviors, things that traditional antivirus, which often relies on known signatures, might miss.
Especially for those tricky types of malware, the ones that change themselves.
Exactly, like polymorphic and metamorphic malware. AI has the potential to see through those disguises. Research from Checkpoint, I think, they showed that even general LLMs like GPT-4 could be surprisingly good at analyzing malware code.
Just plain GPT-4.
Wow.
So more automation and malware analysis is coming.
Seems likely. And another thing, AI is making honeypots smarter.
Honeypots. Those are the decoy systems, right? To
Yeah.
trap attackers.
Yeah. AI-powered honeypots can mimic real systems much more convincingly. They can even adapt their behavior based on how the attacker interacts with them. Makes them way better at attracting and studying sophisticated malware.
It really is a cat and mouse game, isn't it?
Yeah.
With AI supercharging both the cat and the mouse.
That's a good way to put it.
Okay, speaking of offensive tactics, how is AI changing penetration testing? Ethical hacking.
It's revolutionizing it, honestly, mostly through automation and augmentation, tasks that used to be manual and time-consuming.
AI can just do them now.
It can do a lot of them, yeah. Intelligently scan networks, systems, web apps for vulnerabilities much faster and potentially covering more ground than human testers alone.
Like network mapping, finding weak spots.
Right, vulnerability identification, even trying basic exploits.
Yeah.
And the AI tools can learn and adapt their approach as they go.
So it's like an AI assistant for the human pen tester, making them faster, more effective.
Precisely. We're also seeing it integrated into DAS dynamic application security testing. That's where you test a web app while it's running.
And AI helps analyze the responses.
Yeah, looks for signs of vulnerabilities based on how the application behaves. There are open source tools emerging too, like Burp GPT. It's a plugin for Burp Suite, which is a super common tool for web security testing.
Right, I've heard of Burp Suite.
And things like Pentas GPT. These are concrete examples of AI getting baked into the security tester's toolkit.
Okay, so it sounds like AI is making offense maybe easier in some ways, but also really pushing defenders. One last offensive point. Obfuscation, hiding malicious code, and reverse engineering it.
Yeah, it cuts both ways again. Attackers can use AI to generate really complex obfuscation, making their malware harder to understand and detect.
Hiding its true purpose.
Exactly. But defenders are using AI too, for reverse engineering. You train AI on tons of code, good and bad, and it learns to spot the weird patterns, the anomalies that often signal obfuscation.
It recognizes the attempt to hide.
Potentially, yes.
Yeah.
And AI can help with dynamic analysis too, running the suspicious code in a safe sandbox and having the AI watch its behavior to figure out what it's really doing, even if the code itself looks like spaghetti.
So again, that dual-edged sword. AI helps hide, AI helps find. Okay, that paints a pretty clear picture of how AI is boosting the offensive side. Let's flip the coin. How is AI being used to defend against all this?
Right, the defense. Well, AI is becoming absolutely essential for threat detection and response. You can almost think of AI as like a junior SOC analyst.
SOC analyst, Security Operations Center.
Yeah, but one that never sleeps, never gets tired, and can look at just vast amounts of data constantly, 204/7 monitoring and analysis.
That sounds like something security teams desperately need. They're often swamped with alerts from...
Totally overwhelmed. And this ties directly into something called threat detection engineering, basically. The whole practice of building and tuning systems to spot potential threats. AI is perfect for this.
How so?
It excels at sifting through enormous volumes of data security logs from everywhere. Network traffic details, what's happening on endpoints.
Stuff humans just can't process manually at that scale.
Not even close. AI can identify subtle anomalies, weird patterns, correlations across different data sources that might signal an attack is starting or underway. It can do it faster and often more comprehensively than humans alone.
So it can spot those faint early warning signs that might get lost in the noise for a human analyst.
That's the goal. And it doesn't stop there. AI can also help prioritize the alerts that do pop up.
Figuring out which ones are actually serious.
Exactly, helping with triage, maybe even automating the first few steps of investigating an incident. This frees up the human analysts to focus their brain power on the really critical, complex threats.
So it's not just about finding more threats, it's about making the whole security team smarter and more efficient with their time. That feels like a huge advantage.
It really has the potential to be transformative for defense. But, and this is crucial, you have to remember how dynamic this whole thing is, this cyber battlefield.
Because the attackers are using AI too.
Precisely. As attackers adopt AI more and more, the defenses have to keep pace. Using AI on defense isn't optional anymore if you want to stay ahead. The future is likely this constant AI arms race in cyberspace.
Yeah, a proactive adaptive security posture. Definitely leveraging AI on defense. Seems essential.
It really is. And understanding the offensive uses of AI is just as vital for defenders. You need to know what you're up against to build the right shields, anticipate the threats.
This has been really insightful. We've covered a lot. AI generating exploits, crafting those hyper-realistic phishing messages.
Yeah, AI speeding up password cracking, changing how malware is built and caught.
And revolutionizing penetration testing. Plus, how AI is now stepping up as this uh, intelligent shield in security operations.
And it's really important for you listening to remember this field is moving incredibly fast. What we talked about today, probably just the tip of the iceberg.
Definitely. So here's a final thought for you to mull over.
Hmm.
As AI gets deeper into both cyber offense and defense, how does that change the actual balance of power?
Sure.
What new skills, what new strategies are going to be absolutely critical for you, for organizations, to just stay afloat, let alone ahead in this AI-driven world?
Yeah, the sophistication is ramping up on both sides. It raises big questions about the future, doesn't it? This continuous cycle of AI innovation and counter-innovation in security, maybe even ethical questions about AI cyber warfare down the line.
Vital questions for sure. Well, that wraps up this deep dive into AI's impact on cybersecurity. Thanks for joining us.